public question. Anyone come on up? And just say your name and who the question is directed to.
My name's Helen Paquin. I'm the chair of the Social Justice Coalition. I'm a community volunteer, poverty activist, and I volunteer here. Okay? My question to all the candidates is, with our increasing number of people who are living homeless, would you support a shelter here in town with the combination drop-in centers so they can get the information that will help ease what they're going through and living through? And what I mean is, example, a lot of people don't know what the PAL system is, you know, where they can get all the information that would help better their lives from month to month.
And we'll begin with Mark MacDonald this time, since Elaine answered first on the last question.
Thank you very much for the question, Helen. And yes, I do support a homeless shelter in Cornwall and the efforts to have a homeless shelter in Cornwall. And I signed the petition for that, and I support Gary. For anybody that doesn't know Gary Samler, he's always, you know, working on social justice issues and, you know, issues of homelessness, and he's also known as Reggie Walker, and tries his best to bring those issues to the forefront. And for anybody to think that there's not a homeless issue in Cornwall, I know, I've seen it firsthand, that we were out in back of the Agape Center one morning, Gary and I preparing a meal for the day, helping them peel some corn, and there was a gentleman asleep under the cement steps at the back. So yes, I support a homeless shelter. Thank you.
Jim MacDonald.
What I would like to see in the Ontario that we want tomorrow is a system that allows people to have their own home. And I think that providing people with an adequate income is the goal. And I think that takes a priority over homeless shelter. We want everybody to have to be able to live in dignity and have a place that they can call home. And that starts by making sure that we make life affordable in this province and take care of the things that need to be taken care of to make sure there's money to go around. Thank you.
And last but not least, Elaine.
Thank you. Since this question has to do with housing, I just want to revert back to the last one for a moment, because I think my colleague to my left would have you think that there are seniors who got turfed out of the Glengarry apartments when the building was allowed to be converted to condos. Every person who was renting at the time had the right to remain a renter. Those who wanted to buy their unit were given the right to buy it, and the owner at that point would convert that particular unit to a condo. So nobody got turfed out of the street, and nobody had their apartment turned into a condo without their consent. Many people wanted to buy their own apartments. Now, for homelessness in Cornwall, absolutely, I support any program that will help people that are in such desperate need. But we can't end with a Band-Aid program of having a shelter where people can go for a night or two. What we have to do is work to ensure that people have affordable housing. Now, on $525 a month social assistance, you can see why people can't rent an apartment and buy themselves some food for the month as well. So we have to start by adequate support in terms of social assistance being set at a decent rate, and we have to ensure that there is enough rent geared to income. There's a confusion in people's minds, like affordable housing means paying 80% of the market rate in an apartment. So many people can't afford that. They can't afford affordable housing. What we need is a lot more rent geared to income units, which are true social housing units, and we definitely support housing people in every possible way.
Okay, thank you very much for the questions from the audience and from the public. So we will move on to the last question, and that will be posed to the candidates. Last October, 5 leading Cornwallites, including Mayor Bob Kilger and MPP Jim Brunel, got a first-hand taste of what it feels like to make the impossible choice between paying for your rent and food by participating in Cornwall's first Do the Math Challenge. It was a 5-day challenge of surviving only on the contents of a food bank hamper, to raise awareness about poverty and the existence of widespread food insecurity and chronic illness related to poor nutrition. This year, the Social Development Council of Cornwall and area is launching its second Do the Math Challenge in the coming weeks. The question that will be posed to each of you is yes or no. Would you participate? And we'll start with Jim MacDonald, please.
Thank you. I think any program that raises the visibility of some of the problems we have is worthwhile. Like I said, I would like to participate in that. But I think that we have to take steps to make sure that we end poverty, and you have to do that through a strong system. And you need a strong economy to make that happen. And we've seen under the last 8 years, Ontario slipped to a have-not province for the first time in its history. And it's little wonder that now Dalton McGuinty's given such a failing grade. He's not average, he's second last. And I think that tells a lot in this province. We've got to pick up our socks and we've got to get back working. And to do that, we need some help. Change some of the rules, get our people working, change the apprenticeship system so it doesn't benefit labor, but actually benefits the people that need the help. Under our government, we will make those changes. And just as a little point, I'm just not quite sure of the math, how you can go from $600 and some to $500 and have 8 increases over the last 8 years in some of our social assistance. To me, that's a reduction. And we've seen that reduction under the current Liberal government in spite of inflation. People need help, and to do that, we need a strong Ontario to make that happen. Thank you.
And just to be clear, Jim, would you yourself personally participate in the challenge of using a food bank hamper and surviving on the items included? Yep. Okay, thanks. And now we will go to Elaine.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you for the question. And I've given this question a lot of thought because I knew that the program was going to be instituted, though I didn't know the question was coming, and I'm saying no. I have decided I won't, for the same reason that much as I support public health care and I helped organize the rally to Toronto, I didn't feel I could take a day out of the campaign to support physically in person. And by the same token, I'm in, I believe, the most important race for this riding in my lifetime. I intend to win it, and I don't intend, I'm afraid, to divert my attention from that single-minded focus that I have. So I fully support poverty programs, and I hope the brightest lights in our community undertake the Do the Math Challenge and give it their whole attention. It's extremely important. I, right now, don't have the time to devote to it. After October 6th, it'll be different. But right now, I'm afraid I can't.
And Mark MacDonald.
Thank you very much for the question. Yes, I will participate. Yes, I did follow it last year. And yes, I am in the most important race. But I think that people that struggle with those issues of living on a real tight budget and living on a fixed income are also in a very important race. It's called the human race. And every day that they get up and put their feet on the floor, they're in the most important race of their life. So for me to say that I wouldn't be able to participate on that because I wouldn't be able to keep up the daily things that you face with every morning, that you get up and put your feet on the floor. We're all faced with the same thing. We're all faced with the same thing. So to say that, I think it's disrespectful to say that, myself personally, that my thing is just more important than your thing. And I think that we're all in this together. We're all in this together, and the whole idea is to have a sense of community and make life better for one another. And yes, I would be more than happy to participate. Thank you.